Born in Chinatown, San Francisco in the Year of the Dragon, Lei Fan, recognized universally as Bruce Lee, was introduced to the American audience as Kato in the 1966 TV series The Green Hornet, a character that would famously face off against Batman and Robin. After a brief film appearance as Kung Fu henchman Winslow Wong, producer Fred Weintraub encouraged Lee to develop feature films in Hong Kong to showcase his potential star power as a lead actor. It was in Hong Kong that the cultural icon was born. Scenic Fights takes a look into Bruce Lee's legendary 3-year Hong Kong movie career and rank his best films and fight scenes. Make sure to subscribe and watch to the very end to see if your favorite Bruce Lee film tops the list. Spoilers ahead! Number 5. Game of Death. The only film on this list that was never completed, Game of Death highlighted Bruce Lee's belief that traditional martial arts was flawed if you stick to one style. Bruce Lee's character Hai Tian had to reach the top of a mysterious pagoda, which was believed to have held something of extreme value. On his way up, he has to fight 5 masters, named the Guardians, each specializing in their own style of martial arts. The Guardians included famous Filipino Eskrima master Dan Inosanto and Korean Hapkido Grandmaster Jihan Jae. Our favorite fight scene goes to Bruce Lee versus Mantis, played by Basketball Hall of Famer Kareem Abdul-Jabbar. Lee can be seen sporting the very fashionable yellow and black jumpsuit, which would later be referenced in Quentin Tarantino's 2003 film, Kill Bill. At 7 feet 2 inches, Mantis has an advantage in size and strength over 5 foot 8 inch Bruce Lee, but like water, Bruce Lee found a way to adapt and defeat him. Number 4. The Big Boss. After becoming unhappy with being offered only supporting roles in Hollywood, Bruce Lee signed a deal with Hong Kong film production company Golden Harvest to star in 2 martial arts films. The first being The Big Boss, directed by Lo Wei. The Big Boss became the highest-grossing film in Hong Kong at the time. During its Hong Kong film premiere, it received a standing ovation. Lee's wife Linda stated in her 1975 book, Bruce Lee, the Man Only I Knew, that every dream Bruce Lee had ever possessed came true that night. The world finally got to see Bruce Lee's star potential. Our best fight scene goes to Bruce Lee versus the Big Boss, played by Hung Ying-che. Although it falls short in comparison to modern-day fight scenes, Bruce Lee carries the scene with his charismatic presence. Number 3. Fist of Fury. Also known as The Chinese Connection, this was Bruce Lee's second film with Golden Harvest and director Lo Wei. Lee would play the popular fiction character Chen Zhen, created by novelist Ni Kuang, a character which would also be played by Jet Li and Donnie Yen in future renditions. The most famous fight scene without a doubt is Bruce Lee versus the Japanese School, a scene that many future martial arts movies would pay homage to. However, for this countdown, we are going to highlight the final battle between Bruce Lee versus Robert Baker and Riki Hashimoto. Number 2. Enter the Dragon. Considered one of the greatest martial arts films of all time, Lee, a highly skilled Shaolin martial artist, attends a high-profile fighting competition hosted by Lord Han on his private island. Lee's objective was to gain more information on Han's involvement with drug trafficking and prostitution. During his assignment, he is joined by Roper and Williams, played respectively by actors John Saxon, a black belt in judo and Shotokan karate, and blaxploitation martial art icon Jim Kelly, who would later star in the 1974 film Black Belt Jones. Also making their brief appearances before they were famous are members of the Seven Little Fortunes, whom you may know as Yuan Biao, Jackie Chan, and Sammo Hung. Bruce Lee's fight scene against Sammo Hung is often used as evidence to support the idea that Lee popularized mixed martial arts, dubbing him the title the Godfather of MMA, according to UFC president Dana White. Enter the Dragon plays like a martial arts version of a James Bond film, and many critics will regard this movie as Bruce Lee's magnum opus. Although there are many great fight scenes, including one with martial artist Bob Wall, we have to go with Bruce Lee versus Lord Han, played by actor Shi Qian. With Han's ability to change his prosthetic hand to a claw, he serves to be a worthy opponent in the Room of Mirrors, a scenery that would be paid homage to in both Aaliyah's Try Again music video, featuring martial art legend Jet Li, and in the John Wick film series. Number 1. Way of the Dragon. Also known as The Return of the Dragon, and the only film Bruce Lee directed, we find Lee in Rome where he is forced to use his Chinese kung fu to protect Uncle Wang's restaurant from a crime boss. When the restaurant is attacked by a bunch of goons, this leads to the memorable nunchuck scene. The nunchucks were famously introduced to Bruce Lee by his student and teacher of Filipino martial arts, Dan Inosanto, whom we mentioned played a guardian in Game of Death. The best fight scene from this movie is Bruce Lee versus Colt, played by karate champion and future martial arts action movie icon Chuck Norris at the Roman Coliseum. If it wasn't for this cat, we probably wouldn't have known these two titans ever fought that day. On July 20th, 1973, Bruce Lee died from a cerebral edema at the young age of 32. A prime example of a person living life to the fullest, he overcame any obstacles that dare come his way, including fighting against the Hollywood Asian stereotype, and instead became a symbol of Chinese empowerment, proving Asian actors can be leading stars. Whether you're a martial arts fan or not, if there is one thing you can learn from Bruce Lee, it's to follow your dreams and be willing to take on the challenges that come your way. To hell with circumstances, I create opportunities, Bruce Lee wrote. Thank you for watching Scenic Fights, and that's the best of Bruce Lee.